Good afternoon, everyone. Let's get started for today's October 3rd Board of Zoning Appeals meeting. My name's John Gregory, serving as chair for the board, and will be serving as chair for today's meeting. At this time, I'd like to introduce the other members of the board. To my far left, Jonathan Vang, vice chair. To my left, Catherine Finner, and then to my right, Colton Driver. First time on the board today, so welcome, Colton. Thank you. Also want to welcome staff and thank them for their support of the board. Hope Hasty, zoning administrator, Erica Hyen, deputy zoning administrator, and Madeline, I might butcher your last name, is it Bowden or Bowden? Awesome, got lucky. Madeline Bowden, land use board coordinator. The board is charged with hearing applications for special exceptions, variances, and administrative appeals. All testimony is recorded for the record, and anyone wishing to speak will need to be sworn in and come to the podium to speak. No testimony can be taken from the floor. When you come to the podium, please state your name and please speak clearly into the mic. You might need to adjust it up or down, but please speak clearly because the meeting is being recorded. Applicants with cases before the board are allocated a presentation time of 10 minutes. This time also includes all persons presenting information on behalf of the applicant. The time limit does not include any questions asked by the board or staff regarding the case. Any member of the public may address the board in intervals of 3 minutes, and then the applicant then has 5 minutes for a rebuttal. And the board reserves the right to amend these limits on a case-by-case basis. Those of you who plan to speak must be sworn, so we're going to do that right now. If you are here as an applicant or here to speak in any case, please stand at this time and raise your right hand. Okay, thank y'all. Do you affirm or attest that the testimony you will give today is the truth and nothing but the truth? All right, thank y'all. Y'all may be seated. At this time, I'll turn it over to Ms. Hasty.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon. We'll start out today with the consent agenda. So for the consent agenda, we have approval of the September 5th, 2024 meeting minutes. And we also have one case on consent agenda. It's a special exception request to permit an alternative parking service in the RAC district at 1700 Hugie Street. And this is by Columbia Presbyterian Church. Would anyone like to take a case off the consent agenda?
Go ahead. All right, seeing none, is someone on the board? Yeah, sorry. Seeing none, would someone on the board like to make a motion to approve the minutes in the consent agenda?
Move that we approve the minutes in the consent agenda.
Do we have a second? Second. All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion's approved. So if anyone was here for the consent agenda, you're welcome to leave, or you can stick around. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate you. Good luck. Okay.
All right, moving on to the regular agenda. We've got one case on regular agenda, and that's also a special exception. And this is a request at 7320 Broad River Road, Unit L. And it's a request to permit a liquor store in the CAC zoning district. And the applicant's here to present their case.
Okay, excellent. Yes, sir. Please come forward and just, state your name for the record, please.
Good afternoon. My name's Ernest Cromartie. I'm an attorney here in Columbia, South Carolina. And I, along with my client, Mr. Parmar, are here asking for a special exception with respect to property located at 7320 Broad River Road, Unit L. I recognize that we're the only one on the agenda. We are what holds you guys up from Thirsty Thursday or Beer 30, so we will not take too much of your time. That being said, I would like to say three things with respect to the application. One, we submit the application as our testimony. It's a fairly straightforward application for a liquor store in a shopping center. Number two, I'd also like to make you aware of the fact that the applicant has already received his South Carolina liquor license from Department of Revenue. We've already gone through that process, the public elements of that, and so that has already been issued. Number three, and with respect to the criteria, having submitted the application as testimony, I'd like to highlight a few key things, just so that it may add some color to what you have in front of you. This is a public shopping center. My client, unbeknownst to you, has gone through 8 to 9 months of evaluation and scrutiny with the anchor property owner, which is the Publix supermarket. That being said, many of the things that are on this special exception criteria are addressed merely by its location. Ingress, egress, parking, signage, impact upon adjoining tenants, aesthetics, compatibility with character have all been either met or exceeded by what Publix requires so that everyone in their shopping center meets the same brand criteria for Publix, right? And so when you think about those criteria, you can see from the pictures we also submitted that there's more than sufficient space for ingress, egress, parking, loading, unloading. The 1,400 square feet that he occupies was, for lack of a better word, micromanaged by Publix. They controlled the presentation on the inside and the outside. And so we feel like the special exception meets all the criteria. I stand ready for any further questions, and I would direct you to the pictures that we were able to bring so you can see exactly how all the criteria are met. Thank you.
Mr. Cromartie, where is the nearest other liquor store?
My understanding is that there is another liquor store in a Food Line shopping center across the major thoroughfare. And to that point, I think what we are seeing as a part of the commercial development evolution is that you'll find that there's a formula. You have your major grocery store tenant, you have your possibility of an out parcel with a gas station or another out parcel with a sandwich shop, a liquor store and wine shop, maybe a sit-down restaurant, a dry cleaner, or a UPS or FedEx. So this is the way things are going. You think about Garner's Ferry, the Food Lion has the liquor store right next to it. And I think with the elements of having to blend in with the supermarket and maintain the supermarket brand, it doesn't stand out. You can see at the 3 red dots required by state law, and folks come in, they grab whatever they like, and then they wings from Publix and go home and watch the game.
So but the nearest one is across the highway?
My understanding is that there's another one across the highway. Is that correct? There's a Food Line shopping center across the highway, and I think there's a liquor store in that location.
Okay.
And to that point, behind the Publix is a large residential ERMO grouping. I think behind the Food Line is another large, densely populated residential area. So each one kind of can sustain the use.
And then I guess the other liquor stores nearby or the next nearest ones would be down like Columbiana, the Bottles that's down there, and
That
Greens
large
is
box
down there, but
store.
way down there, yeah.
Way down there,
Okay.
yeah, that large box store. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Any other questions for the applicant? Thank you, Mr. Cromartie.
I have two things I'd like to say. One, I sat where you guys sat back in 2005 through maybe 2015. Thank you for what you're doing. I say that having sat there, and so it comes with empathy or genuineness, however you want to call it. And then number two, I want to say publicly, staff is absolutely great. I've worked with them in many instances in my professional capacity, and so staff does a great job. And I just want to say that in front of them, in front of you guys as well. They make things easy for folks in the city. So thank you for what you do.
I would agree. Thank you very much, yeah. All right. I think I know the answer to this, but we got to ask it. Would anybody in the audience like to speak on this case? All right, seeing none, there's no need for rebuttal, so I'm going to close it down for board discussion. Yeah, go ahead, Catherine.
Well, it doesn't seem like there's exactly a proliferation. I mean, obviously there's one nearby, but I mean, it doesn't seem like a proliferation. And obviously nobody cared enough to come and oppose it. So I just don't have a problem with it, I don't think.
Agreed. All right, Colton, I think you got a pretty easy first day here. Yeah. I'd like to, yes, I'd like to hear a motion, please.
I'll motion to approve.
All right,
Second.
subject to staff comments, yeah. Yeah, let's add that.
Subject to staff comments.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve, subject to staff comments in a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, the motion's approved. Thank y'all very much. All right, I believe that's it on the agenda today. All right, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
All right. Do we have a second? Second. All right, all those in favor say aye. 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 Motion. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.